Yeah, thank you. Yes, I've always also been very impressed by the results I've seen over the last 3 days, including the satellite workshop on Wednesday. But it's also clear that there are tremendous challenges ahead for you as a group and for the scientific community in general. One thing I noticed is that there's still a significant gap between the theoretical findings you have and some of the algorithms being proposed and the actual applications, right? And that's something that we need to address. I mean, it's a common problem, but I think I see there's still a fundamental gap. Maybe having now field experiments will help to close this gap. But it's clear that great challenges ahead, and so you need to continue, of course, with your theoretical research, but also developing the engineering side on how to actually implement these controls. And that might be even a stronger challenge, at least from my perspective. I understand the theory, I understand the engineering much less. But my intuitive feeling is still, as I said, a huge gap. And so it's a long-term project, and it's clear that one shouldn't jump to early conclusions. It's always very tempting, right, as a scientist to say, oh, I found a solution. But so that's important to not do that. At the same time, I feel you as a group, you maybe should now think about, after having developed a very diverse portfolio of ideas and concepts, to consolidate and focus on what you think are the most promising directions, and then concentrate the efforts along these lines. And then, of course, be adaptive. That word, Sarah, or I don't know, yeah, was it? No, it was on one of the slides. It's important that you keep open-minded, but I think it's important to also focus the efforts to have an impact eventually. And one line of doing this maybe is to develop a common digital structure that allows to share data, simulation data, experimental data, also to the outside, not just within your group, but also to the outside in the scientific. I mean, we talked a lot to talk to the public, but we should also talk among scientists. There are many groups in the world that are trying to do similar things, even though I think you're spearheading a lot of things here. And also to develop a common simulations software maybe that you can share amongst these other, and also with other groups, so they can also do their experiments and contributing to reproducibility, a word that I think hasn't been used yet, but that people can reproduce the results you're showing. And then again, going back, and that was also already raised yesterday by myself, but also again and again, include uncertainty quantification and validate the uncertainties you're producing, because that will be crucial to communicate your results as well as to mitigate risks that come with what we're trying to do. And I know uncertainty quantification is really, really difficult. It's already difficult enough to get a point, right? So something controlled that had worked, right? But then to add reliable confidence intervals is really challenging. But I think it has to be done, because it's one thing if we fail, the data forecasting fails to reproduce one extreme event, but if you do this by controlling something and then you miss something, then that will be much more dramatic, as again has been discussed just in the previous session. So I'd like to congratulate you to what you have achieved already. So you can be proud. There's lots to be done. And so I wish you success with the next steps, and I hope to be back in due time to see where you will be. And thank you very much.